Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Art House. I wanted to cover this update that came out a couple days ago, Valentine's Day, the Valentine's Day Massacre. Now, seriously, it was a exciting update. A lot of interesting, cool findings. It's called Packaging and Foil Card Update. So we got an awesome video. It showed the first live video preview, I believe, of the foil cards and the back of the foil cards, which is the full arts. So that was super exciting. There's an announcement at the end about Gen Con, and I covered that a bit on my last video, but now I have the images that I was struggling to find in that one, where I'm going to talk about the painting that's going to be given away to the winner of that first organized play event. And I'm fortunate to have some images from Elvira, so I want to thank her for sharing those with me. It's a real privilege to kind of share some of the background and the history of the game, and especially how the artwork came into fruition, some of the design concepts, some of the early sketches and process images that led to the final product. And I have that for Crown of the Victor, so we'll save that for a little bit, but let's get into it. All right, it says all cards are now printed and cut, including the ones in the box topper and pledge pack coveted holographic foils. Make sure to watch the video below. We will. Our production partner is soldiering on with 48% of booster packs have now been assembled and sealed. All right, so we're almost halfway home. Everything has been printed and cut. So now it's just a matter of assembling, packaging, sealing, and shipping it off to us. So I think we're getting there. Of course, there's some shipping logistics. That takes some time. They said Q1. We're here in mid-February, so it looks like it's going to be tight. Potentially to get this delivered in March, but I don't think it's far off. I mean, everything is printed and cut, so that's a pretty exciting development. I know people are anxious to hear a little more detail, and Eric mentioned in the Discord that he's being a little cautious with pegging an exact date because of some of that uncertainty of the logistics of that timeline, I suppose. I don't think he said that specifically, but just to kind of hedge and not overcommit and underdeliver. But it is close, and here's the evidence of it. All right, so there's the box topper packs and pledge packs are being assembled in parallel. The full production booster box has a new scratch-free lamination. That's cool. The box is black inside, and there's a black divider between the three piles of packs. All right, so then when you open a box, the foil promo sorcerer greets you through a transparent box topper pack. So there's a lot of attention to detail here, which is kind of the calling card of the game. I mean, meticulous detail in everything. The packaging looks awesome. You kind of see it in the image preview there, and I'll go to that video in a moment. It features some of the best iconic artwork in the game. You got the sorcerer avatar right on the top of the box, and then when you open the box, the first thing you see is that sorcerer holographic card, and they were slick and smart enough to make it a transparent pack. So that's the first thing you see. It's got a little tear strip on the right, which is great because it's easy to open. It's kind of funny. I think this is the same girl that previewed this last time, the same lady. She was kind of struggling with the art pack, so now she's got this nice little tear strip and gets it open cleanly. And it looks great. Everything looks phenomenal. The foils inside the box, it's also black, so you have that continuity of color, and it's a nice open experience. And then you see the beautiful packs organized into 3 neat rows, so it's not going to shift and slide around in delivery. All right, so let's take a look at the video here. There you go. You get the opening of the pack. There's the sorcerer, as I was saying, the transparent pack, first thing you see. So a great first impression. And these are, I believe, all foil cards in this box topper pack, with the exception of a new reveal of the artist card. So that'll be coming up. There's the tear strip. Opens right up. And the foils look really great. Some people are saying that's a lot of rainbow. They thought it was a continuity of rainbow foiling, but it's really not. I mean, that's been covered in prior images. Let me pause it there. There is the art pack. Or the art card, excuse me. So this is the artist card, and this is a beautiful touch and tribute, really thoughtful tribute. I thought this was really nice to include. You see every artist from the alpha set is listed here. So this game really pays great tribute to artwork in general. It's all hand-painted traditional art. That's one of the very unique selling points of this game, something that has not been done in decades, to have a TCG with all hand-painted art. That is a very big deal. And here you're recognizing all of the wonderful artists that were involved in Alpha. So that's your first impression. First thing you see, you open the box, you open the pack, you get to know the artist, you discover the cards, and you start correlating card to artist. So that was a great inclusion. I'm glad Eric thought to do that. All right, let's keep going. There's your 3 row of packs with the dividers. You know, so they're nice and neatly stacked. Featuring the foils. Now, something interesting here. Okay, here's the full art pack. You see laid out on the table here a lot of interesting findings. All right, so when I updated collectorarthouse.com, and I'm looking to pull that up. If you go to collectorarthouse.com and you go to Sorcery cards, and then you kind of hover over there, right? And you see them all the cards are organized by artist, and then also categorized by type of spells, artifacts, tokens, etc. But I have one category called Unconfirmed for Alpha, all right? And that's the page we're looking at. There were several cards in the last updates that were not included in the tabletop simulator. So I tabulated about 365 cards were revealed, and we estimated about 403 would be included in the total set, right? So there's 30-some that were not fully revealed, and that's what this list is. These are cards that were in the prior Tabletop Simulator update, but were not in the final Confirmed for Alpha update. So we didn't know the fate of these, but when you survey the table in this preview video, we discovered a lot, right? The Cerberus in Chains is in there. The Crown of the Victor, now we're going to talk about that one towards the end. That is the card or the painting that will be given away at Gen Con for the first organized play event. So that's significant. You got to imagine that this will either be reintroduced into Alpha as a playable card, or perhaps this will be a promo card, which would be pretty cool. I think it'd be really great if they gave away a special promo card for that tournament winner, as well as the painting, maybe a first and second prize, or let them choose and maybe reward a few of the top winners would be really cool. But in any case, it looks like that's in some capacity. At least the artwork is. All right. And then if you keep going down, you know, some of these you think are going to be pretty obvious. They got to get Eric's Curiosa in there, so maybe that's getting a redesign. But we didn't see that on the table, right? But as you keep going, the other ones we noticed was Polymorph. So that's back in. Primordial Spring. Great, beautiful artwork by Drew Tucker. I think we think all the Frazetta pieces are in there. That was not on the table, but that should be coming back. Twist of Fate. This one was removed in the final Tabletop Simulator, but this is back. And the Vault of Zool by Tony Sudlow. All right, so several findings. We're getting closer to understanding the full list of Alpha. That was one interesting development in that video. So let's go back to it. Here you have the Cerberus. You have Polymorph over here. A couple that I pointed out. Predestination is hiding behind that. It's kind of funny. We'll get to it here. So she's surveying the table. Which one do I want to get? Which one? Oh, Battle Mage. So this is one of the avatars, Jussie Pilkus. Amazing in foil. Amazing detail on this card. Full art back. Looks incredible in that card. All right, so which one? Predestination. Okay, let's go for this guy. Skipped right over one of the absolute iconic top cards in the game. Man, that looks cool, though. Those full arts are something else. You know, it's not all about the foils. All right. So we got those. Oh, I heard a door slam, guys. We're going to have company in a minute. All right. There it is. Hey. Where's Mommy? You go see Mommy? Where'd she go?
Yeah.
What? Where'd she go? You find her? Okay. You tell me. All right. She's back on a mission. All right. So getting back into it. What I wanted to go do, let's go back to the announcement. We got through the video, the pre-constructed decks. We saw this before. Look at the Elemental Avatar artworks on those boxes. That looks incredible. So those will be in the pre-con sets. You get those 4 decks. It says there's a little foam piece here, so it fills the box nicely, and those cards won't be rattling around in there. And then if you go down to the bottom, that's where we talk about Gen Con. All right, we're looking forward to hosting a variety of organized play events at Gen Con in August, including beginner-friendly events, yada, 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 and Crown of the Victor Championship. All right, so Crown of the Victor. Let's dig in. So one of the great things, I did a live event with Elvira Shakarova a few weeks ago, and she described how she submitted typically 3 different sketch variants to Eric, and then Eric selected the one that he liked the most, right? So here I have the sketches for Crown of the Victor. So number 1, these were the first 2 that were not obviously included, right? This is not what we see in the final imagery, but this is pretty cool, you know? So this is kind of like formulating the idea of the crown, maybe perched upon something and his hand reaching up to it, all right? So then she described in our live that there was a card from Magic the Gathering called Urza's Mitre, and Eric asked for an intricate background like that card, just as kind of like an example. Have the crown featured behind this intricate background, right? So when we go to sketch 3, that's where this comes into formation here. So you have the crown featured behind this ornate background, and you have this hand like gripping up and reaching it, like I am the victor. Here is my crown. And this is what the final piece resembles, right? So now I have a couple process images, which is really cool to see. Let me lower these, and we'll flash up first process image. So this is her painting it. You can see how intricate the crown is. Maybe I could zoom in a little bit there. So something Elvira is known for is her intricate detail. And you can see this must look really amazing in the final painting. So you see her kind of trying to fill in the detail here, and this is unfinished over here. So that's process image number 1. And then here you get a lot more ornate detail, man. This is going to look really great. I don't know if I'm going to make it to Gen Con or not, but I need to get some images of that and video documents if I don't. And here you go. So it's laid against this ornate background. This is the finished product. It looks like the arm is kind of bloodied from battle, the struggle to victory. And it's got these beautiful gems embedded. Man, those are really nice. This looks really cool. So there it is, guys. That's kind of like this is probably the finished painting or close to it. But you see that is the painting that it's laying on. You can see the border. And that's going to look incredible in the right frame. And that's going to be some prize for the first organized play tournament, to get an original painting that is something special and unique to Sorcery as well, too. A lot of games go digital, and they couldn't do something like this. So that is pretty great. So moving on here, the other thing I wanted to talk about was the card Predestination. All right, so we learned something here. This is the sample card version of this card. We've seen 2 copies of these. And this is the sample. So in sample form, it was called Predestination. And you have this kind of mechanical mechanism, beautiful artwork by Severin. And it's a unique card. And the card is very interesting. It says, you determine a random outcome. All right, so, and then let us go where fate directs us. Beautiful flavor text line. All right, so we never saw this in Tabletop Simulator. So I know they were kind of struggling with this design concept. It didn't really fit and wasn't like perfectly synergistic, perhaps, with some of the other cards in Alpha. So I think that's why it didn't make sense to really throw it into Tabletop Simulator. There wasn't much to discover in terms of how it synergizes with other cards that don't yet exist to synergize well with it. So what they've done, and this was revealed by Eric in the Discord, I was kind of poking and say, hey, I saw it on the table. It's in. What's the new name, right? Because it looked like it was 2 names, but it was very obscured. You couldn't really make out what it was called. And what he told us is it's called Kythera mechanism, right? And it's based on this ancient lore here, or this real-life history, 21 centuries ago. So this is like kind of like the BC era. There was a shipwreck around Greece in this area called Kythera, right? And it's circled right here. It's this little island. And as the ships passed through this area, there was a lot of treacherous terrain here. This is typical in marine navigation, as you're maybe traveling through unfamiliar territory or don't have the same technology that we have today to see things under the water. There was a lot of navigational hazards. Your ship could get wrecked by rock formations, basically, that tear up the bottom of the ship and cause it to sink. So there were some divers in this area, archaeological divers, and they found a shipwreck. And in that wreck, they found something that's really cool about this is they found a lot of very ornate, beautiful art. And it was in the form of sculptures, statues, those types of things. Initially, they thought they were finding like body parts, literally. But it was like these sculptures. And it's kind of like fitting and symbolic in a way of Sorcery, I feel, because it's this beautiful art project in addition to a game, right? The art is significant. And here you have, it's like a discovery of art, just like this shipwreck was, right? And the anti-Kythera mechanism, or as they're calling it, the Kythera mechanism in Sorcery, this is what the actual artifact looked like. So I believe the card is going to be a relic, because that's fitting of an artifact that was discovered out in the wild. And what's interesting about this is that it was kind of like a astronomical device. It was able to predict the orientation of the planets and eclipses. So kind of it was a very intricate way advanced, ahead of its time, predictive device like this, like predestination is, as we've come to know. And this is actually a brass device. There's severe corrosion from being under the sea for hundreds of years, thousands of years, right? And it wasn't until modern technology in I think the 1950s era, you can go and just Google or YouTube this, you'll find all kinds of information. And with modern technology, they were able to see through the corrosion and see that this was a very intricate brass device. And you could kind of make out kind of the gear structures around here. Really fascinating, super complex, multi-layered, and it's been recreated, remodeled, and a lot has been discovered and known about it. But it has this predictive type effect, right? So it makes you wonder, how could this be used in the game? Could it predict locations in the realm? Maybe with that knowledge, you have some, foresight to, maneuver your minions or spells, target your spells throughout the realm. It's going to be really cool to see how that manifests into a game mechanic. So we have not seen the updated card. We only know the title. I am speculating or predicting that it is a relic. I'm not sure if that was confirmed or not, but there it is, guys, the Kythera mechanism. I assume it's still going to be unique. I think it's going to be one of the more iconic and popular cards in the game. So that's a super exciting development. I think that's pretty much all I wanted to cover for today. I would encourage you guys to go look into this story. There's a wealth of information out there. It was a very significant historical discovery. And if you go out, where I started was on the Kickstarter page. Go take a look at the video. Take your time. Watch it through. Enjoy the foils. A lot of people are saying, again, like, oh, it's too much rainbow. It looks like it's just kind of like a uniform rainbow effect. But then Eric actually chimed in a Discord with a very long post and very detailed. You could tell he's an artist, right? And he kind of understands optics and the limitations of cameras and filming. And he was talking about how, it's very specifically and scientifically, how you cannot tell exactly what the foil looks like by the naked eye through a video. So you're really not going to get a full appreciation for it until we have it in hand. And again, it looks like it's getting close. Everything's printed, it's cut, it's being packaged, and then we just got to work through logistics, and we'll have this stuff soon. So a lot of exciting developments. A lot of people are getting real anxious about the delivery date. I think that's going to be announced once it's better understood definitively. And it feels close, guys. I think we're within like a month or two. So, if they don't hit the Q1 in March, I would suspect it's probably coming in April. I think it's going to be right down to the wire here. I know there were some COVID issues over the holidays, which slowed production a bit. That's probably the major hurdle that they had to navigate through. But now that it's all cut, printed, cut, being packaged, almost half done with packaging, that means they're about 15,000 boxes through. Really exciting stuff. It feels real close, and it's going to be really exciting to get this in hand. There's going to be a lot of box openings, a lot of box breaks. Check the links in my Discord. I'm definitely be doing all kinds of stuff like that. So please come join the Discord. I just had a recent announcement in the Collector Art House Discord. Probably going to go to Facebook with that soon, and expect another video to come previewing some very exciting things to come. All right, guys, thank you for your interest. Let's see, almost another 20-minute video, so thanks for hanging in there. Appreciate your support. Please like and subscribe and share with your friends. And until next time, talk to you soon. Take care.